There you go. Hello. I actually just recorded the video that you're about to see, but I thought I would put this up just as a kind of aside and explanation for what you got here. The quality of these videos are probably never going to be much of an improvement over what you've got right here. Uh, I've got a Mac, I've got iMovie, and that's that. I don't want to be an internationally famous YouTuber. I mean, let me change that up. I don't want to put in the kind of work and money and necessary equipment required to be an internationally famous YouTuber. I'd like to be one, but without having to go through all that. I'm going to be putting uh, I'm going to be putting much more time and energy into creating art and music. So, to a great extent, I'm just doing this to give back a part of what I've gotten out of the self development videos I've been watching, and to tell you where I'm at, to tell you how far I've come, and to just offer another way of looking at this stuff because I know this. I can watch seven people say basically the same thing in somewhat different words, and then maybe the eighth person will say the same thing in somewhat different words, and all of a sudden I'll be like, of course, that's what I need. You know, sometimes it's not the message, it's the messenger. So maybe I'm going to resonate with somebody out there who's heard all this stuff before from other people and it just didn't quite strike a chord. And maybe when they hear me say it, it's like, yeah, that's what I need. We'll see. Also, I do have a Patreon account. The link is below, along with the other links that I'm putting up to show you at least some of the information I'm getting to grow and develop and hopefully give back, because it looks largely like I'm not going to be making any money doing this. So if somebody gets some good out of it, that's maybe the next best thing, maybe the first best thing. In any event, if you watch this and you like it and you feel, you know what, I should give this guy some money so maybe the quality of his videos do improve and he keeps doing it, well, the link is below. Also, I'm offering up artwork. The amount of stuff that I will be offering will expand as time goes on. Right now, it is where it's at, and I will improve it as I go along. So, coming up next, the video that I made. Thanks. Good afternoon. If you're watching this, at least you're alive, and you can use that as your baseline. Anything above that is a perk. Anything below that, and you're relieved of the burden of judging whether something is good or bad. I've been struggling with setting goals, and after watching oodles of videos and reading miles of articles, I finally came up with a one-page vision for the next year, 5 years, and lifetime goals to shoot for. Now I'm in the process of learning to set short-term and medium-term goals to achieve those. But thinking about all the information I've digested concerning self-development, it became clear that a lifelong vision, the most fundamental yet sophisticated ideal to shoot for, was something I needed to define. And since it is the thing that underlies so much of what I'm learning anyway, and so much of what is needed to change and grow, it was pretty much a no-brainer. Acquire or develop the greatest amount of mental toughness I can. Simply put, it's being mentally tougher than I was before, pretty much just measured in whatever way I can day by day. And that's basically just how often am I present, focused, willing to do hard things, and how much of the day am I comfortable with circumstances, internal and external, regardless of how negative they may be. It's not some goal as in when I'm finished, it will be or it will look like this. It's a very abstract thing, and basically it's just being tougher mentally than I was before. And the great thing about building mental toughness is that it requires the tools that actually require in themselves a mental change to use. So the stillness and clarity, determination and discipline, among other things, needed to develop mental toughness will only become easier to access as I become more mentally disciplined. One thing I've learned, and it was way back before I started getting in depth into the whole changing my thinking journey, was to not question why something is wrong, but question, how do I fix or change this? For example, don't ask, why am I a drunk? Or why don't I exercise? Or eat better? Or spend more time doing things more important than being on the net? Ask, how do I quit drinking? Or how do I start exercising? Or how do I eat better? Or how do I begin doing important things even when I don't want to? And that, for me, is key. Doing things when I don't want to do them. To become mentally tougher, I'm adopting tools, and even as mental toughness will allow me to do harder things and face situations with equanimity, the best way to start is with the easiest things to do. I liken it to this. To accomplish a hard task, you don't choose the hardest way to do it, you choose the easiest. To pound a nail, you don't use a rock if you have a hammer. And to lift heavy weights, you don't mine the ore and smelt the iron just because it's harder. You go to the gym where the weights are. As I develop mental toughness, I'm constantly grasping for the best tools in my range. And at this point, it's largely building habits and being present. There is a lot involved in just those things, at least getting started, but paradoxically, both those things are geared towards simplifying one's life when practiced consistently. I think the best place to start with either is using a micro practice, that is, conditioning yourself to doing those things by doing whatever the bare minimum is, even seconds. Tell yourself, I'm going to do this for 7 seconds, and just start, and chances are, whatever this is, you'll do it for more than 7 seconds, and whatever the minimum is, just keep increasing it regularly. And after enough days have passed, you'll find yourself doing it automatically without having to set a minimum time. One of the things I use at times when I'm stymied in my attempt to do something, any physical thing or mental thing, or even just making a decision as to what to do next, a thing that comes to me is a quote by Teddy Roosevelt. Do whatever you can with whatever you have, wherever you are. Sometimes that means just breathing and clearing my mind, or taking a walk, or doing some dishes, or looking away from the computer for 3 minutes, or sitting or laying down and doing a quick gratitude session, or a visualization, or meditation. And sometimes I'm foggy and I suddenly realize I haven't drank any water in a while. Anything but being in a moment of challenge or confusion or indecision, then getting upset with myself for finding I'm stuck, which only makes things worse. To sum up, This whole video is about me wanting to develop mental toughness, and that basically comes down to exactly what that meant to me. Coming up with an idea of how much of it I had and could expand on, and where was I weakest, and what are the tools I need to address those things. What it means is being present and accepting things as they are now, or having the wherewithal to change them if I can, being able to do hard things that are necessary for growth, being able to give up the things that hold me back, and I've accessed where I'm strong and weak concerning those things. The tools I'm using are meditation, visualization, and micro habits to develop permanent habits. There are other things as well, and I'll cover those in other videos, but we'll leave it there for now. Let me just say the last few days I've seen a bigger increase in growth, and while it is not as much as I hoped for, and it never is, it shows I'm going in the right direction. I'll leave some links below for more resources and start working on my next video. Thank you for watching, and if you didn't watch, well, what's wrong with you, man? Talk to you later.